Today, let's reflect together on something that's, well, it's a profound and sometimes challenging call at the very heart of our faith. We're talking about the divine vocation of the peacemaker.
When you look around at the world, it feels so divided, so full of conflict, doesn't it? And it's a question I think we all carry deep down, in our families, in our communities, maybe even just inside our own hearts. Where do we find real, lasting peace?
Well, the answer we're looking for, it's found in the New Testament, right at the beginning of Jesus' public ministry. In that incredible Sermon on the Mount, he gives us the Beatitudes. And they're not just sayings, They're a real path, a roadmap to living a truly blessed life.
And right there, in the Gospel of Matthew, we find this absolute gem of a teaching. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Wow, let's just sit with that for a moment. Blessed are the peacemakers. Think about that.
So what does that actually mean? I think for a lot of us, our first thought is, oh, a peacemaker is someone who just avoids fights, right? Someone who stays quiet, doesn't rock the boat. But the original language here, it points to something way more active, something much, much deeper.
It turns out being a peacemaker means we are actively imitating God himself. Just let that sink in. We're called to join in his own divine work of reconciliation. We're talking about mending what's broken, bringing together what's been torn apart. It's a truly divine action.
So let's really break this down, because it's a huge shift in thinking. It's not just about avoiding fights, it's about actively healing divisions. See the difference? It's not about just keeping quiet, but about having the courage to build bridges. It's this total shift from being passive to actively imitating God's reconciling love.
And here's where it gets incredibly personal for you and for me. Because when we actually try to do this, when we take up this work of peacemaking, this imitation of God, it doesn't just change situations around us, it changes us. It actually reveals a deep, fundamental truth about who we are.
The spiritual logic here is just so beautiful and clear, isn't it? Step 1, we get the call to be peacemakers. Step 2, we actually do it. We imitate God's work of bringing people together. And step 3, the result? That very action reveals our true identity. It shows us and the world that we are his children. It's amazing. Our actions literally tell us who we are.
And this is so important to get. This isn't some, lofty ideal just for saints or world leaders. No way. This is a core Catholic vocation. That means it's a calling for every single one of us. Right where we are, in our families, at our jobs, in our everyday lives.
Okay, so knowing all this is one thing, but how do we actually do it? It can feel like such a huge task, right? How do we even begin to be the kind of people who heal divisions and build bridges? Where on earth do we start?
Well, the answer, as it so often is in the spiritual life, is beautifully simple. We don't start with some grand plan or by relying on our own strength. We can't. We have to start with humility. We start by asking for God's grace. It all begins with prayer.
So I want to invite you, just for a moment, to make this simple prayer your own. Let's just pray it together in our hearts right now. Father, make me a peacemaker in your image. Bless my efforts for unity. Amen. So as we bring this reflection to a close, let's just hold on to the real heart of this message. Remember, peace isn't just sitting back. It's an active imitation of God. And peacemaking, it's not some optional extra credit. It's our vocation. And finally, and maybe most beautifully, it's in doing this work that we discover who we really are, children of God. So the question left for us isn't if we're called to this. We are. The real question is how will we respond? So I leave you with this to ponder. Take a quiet look at your own life, your family, your work, your friendships. With God's grace, where will you begin?